Yes, sir.
So, so today's class is again on the control of feed intake and appetite. So regarding previous classes, I have added something more, which is somewhat relevant with the control of feed intake and appetite in the animals. So when we are talking about the feed control, then basically it controls with the two aspects. The first one is the central control and the second one is the peripheral control. An animal can control these feed intake or appetite through centrally or through peripherally. So these are, if we are talking about the especially central control, then it is coordination. huh, There should be coordination by the hypothalamus. Uh, Another is the role of brainstem. Brainstem role is importantly to control the feed intake regulation. Another one is a neuropeptide, that is a common hormone which is present in the GI tract. Next is central neurotransmitters, then hedonic mechanisms there. This mnemonic
Hedonic mechanism क्या हुआ सर?
hedonic mechanism. Another is mnemonic
Yes, sir.
representation of experience with food, and the last one is endocannabinoids. I will explain this
Sir, hedonic
later part. Thus, these are
Okay, okay.
introductory part, which comes under the central control and some will
Yes, sir.
under the peripheral control that will lead to all the presentation. So these are the central controls, and the right one, the peripheral controls, that will consist of the neuron signals, nutrient signals, hormonal signals,
Okay.
and some immune system is also there. Hmm. So if we will just having start our things, then you might see that for central control, these are the things what I have talked in previous slide. So if we specifically deals with these topics, so the very first thing, that is the coordination by the hypothalamus, which comes under the central control of the feed intake and appetite. So this hypothalamus that is also act as gatekeeper, in which this controls the feed intake and appetite. And also it acts as peripheral signals. It also acts on the peripheral signal by the balancing the energy, okay, whatever tends in the hypothalamus. That will lead to the control of feed intake. So the communication between the hypothalamus and higher cortical centers, these pertain the food memory and the rewarding aspects of food. Mean to say, an animal likes different types of, they usually get different types of food. Among them, they like, especially like some more, something more. So that is also have some neural signal as per their adaptive behavior. They have some adaptation with that particular feed, and that have been recognized in the hypothalamus as in their memory caput. So basically two hypothalamus part is there. One is for hunger and another is for satiety. So for hunger, it is the lateral part of the hypothalamus. As well, the satiety center will leads to medial hypothalamus. So the very first thing is the hunger center. Hunger center means the center which creates or just tells that the animal is about to feed. Mean to say they are starved. And the satiety center, the satiety means that the animal is about to full. Their stomach have been full. So now not need any more feed. So this satiety center will activate, initiate, and then it will tends to check the regulation. So basically, the presence of a network of communication among the gut, pancreas, adipose tissue, brainstem, and hypothalamus. So these all create a network which is likely to be happened for the control system in this. So especially if we talk about the system, here you can see that the brain of an animal having the limbic system. Mean to say the very first thing is the hedonic inputs. These hedonic inputs, some environmental impulse, their taste, and the appearance of the feed. Some emotional factor should be also there, whether the animal is in good condition, good mental condition or not. So what happens when these all acts, on the limbic system, mean to say that the hypothalamus, that will via higher cortical centers and limbic system. This acts via the higher cortical centers. So exactly what happens? This these have a very you can say the complex you can say the complex system they have to act for the control of feed intake. So uh, various organs also have to talk about the about to convince this control system. So if we talk about the adipose tissue, okay, adipose tissue, and so adipose tissue, this consists of especially this leptin. Okay, so what happens with this leptin? This leptin and another hormone is there is the ghrelin. So leptin is present in the adipose tissue and this ghrelin is present in the stomach. So these two hormones, they are act as antagonists to each other. Mean to say whenever there is more adipose tissue in the animal, then the level of the basal level of the leptin hormone will more. The simple thing is because this leptin always acts on the adipose tissue. So another one is the insulin. It comes from the pancreas. This some more hormones are there, glucagon, amylin, and PP. These comes from the pancreas. Okay, from the intestine part, this PYY, OxyM, this GLP. These are the enzymes you can say which acts on the hypothalamus for control of the feed intake. And especially from the stomach, this CCK, that is the cholecystokinin and ghrelin. So here what happens? The vagal afferents, they are come in action with the help of or by the initiation or presence of these ghrelin and cholecystokinin, okay, and some enzymes which are present in the intestine. So by the action of vagal afferents, they send the neurons, send the signals to the neurons, okay, neurons send the signals via neurons in the brainstem of the hypothalamus, and it will lead to control or regulate the control feed intake. So here this hedonic inputs, it is also you can say applicable and having a very good property regarding the action of feed intake, because these hedonic inputs, these are the some, it is related with some sensations, either it should be pleasant or unpleasant. Might be it will be related with some taste, smell, or the status of the animal, whether the animal is in good condition or in not feeling well. So these adipose tissue, those pancreas, gastrointestinal tract, including the intestine and the stomach. These all are having a certain role so that they just initiate the neurons to the brainstem and exactly in the hypothalamus or the lateral part that will lead to control the feed intake or the appetite. So these are the things. So if we talk about the brainstem, then sensing of energy balance and modulation of food intake. This is the very basic role of the brainstem. So in the dorsal vagal complex, it is the because this dorsal vagal complex, this is the main organ which is responsible for facilitating the communication between peripheral signals of food intake, peripheral signals, and hypothalamic nuclei. Mean to say this dorsal vagal complex, it is only responsible. This DVC is responsible for the peripheral signals of food intake and the hypothalamic nuclei. Mean to say whether the animal is going to take the feed or not. That is totally dependent on this dorsal vagal complex. These peripheral signals, they are comprised of the quality of food, whether this hypothalamic nuclei, this consists the various aspects, what is happening in the animal body regarding any hormonal change, any hedonic changes, if the animal is in constraint or whatever it is. So basically this DVC consists of nucleus of the tractus solitarius, area postrema and the dorsal vagal nucleus. The same figure is also here. So this vagal nerve afferents, they carry sensory information relaying hunger and satiety from the gut directly to the NTS, that is the increased meal size and duration. So if an animal have to make some more feed or they have to eat for a longer duration, that will total lead to be due to this vagal nerve afferents. Okay, so whatever the sensory information from the vagal nerve afferents, which gives to the hypothalamus, that will lead the animal whether they have to take some more feed or for some more duration, whether the feed is smelling good, they are of choice of the animals or not. So again, the AP, that is the receive metabolic signals, anterior, posterior hypothalamus, that is, it receive metabolic signals of energy balance. So hormones and nutrients, they are exactly play a main role for the metabolic signals of energy balance. If you're talking about the efferent pathways, then that is the hypothalamus. Okay, so hypothalamus, it passes the message to this deviant modulates and to the efferent nerves. And only this vagal nerve activity, they alter these efferent pathways. And this vagal nerve activity consists of the gastric emptying, the motility of gastric and the pancreatic secretions. Mean to say regarding these gastric and pancreatic secretions and including the gastrointestinal tract, these consider for the further feed intake or whether the animal have to off feed. Okay, regarding the neurons. So this hypothalamic nuclei, that is implicated in the control of feed intake. So how it acts? Yeah. So exactly you can see here the arcuate nucleus, that is the ARC, which is the main hypothalamic area which controlling the food intake. And the neurons within the ARC are, the very first one is the neurons contains neuropeptide Y and the A-GOT related peptide. That is also known as AGRP. So this will enhance the food intake when these neurons are, especially this neuropeptide will activate. The second one is the neurons which contains pro-opiomelanocortin, POMC, pro-opiomelanocortin, and cocaine and amphetamine regulated transcript. That is also known as CART. So these are neurons which helps for the action of feed of an animal. That is, it reduces the feed intake. When they will get activate or initiate, the animal tends to reduce the feed intake. That is also known as the term anorexinic. Okay. So here in picture you can see this is the hypothalamus. Okay. This is the ARC, the arcuate nucleus. This is the neuropeptide Y. This is the POMC, that is pro-opiomelanocortin. And here in this nucleus, this cocaine and amphetamine regulated transcript, it is a CART also present. So these all nucleus, they have some specific function, right? You can say that ARC, this arcuate nucleus, what does this? This acts on the energy balance, meant to say, to meet out the expenditure and intake of the energy and food. How much energy is required? That will totally based on the expenditure of energy, whatever the animal had. So on the basis of energy expenditure of the animal, the food intake will calculate it. And whatever the energy will remain, that will convert into the adipose tissue, especially in the GI part. This ARC, this arcuate nucleus, also acts on the bone mass. Mean to say, if the energy will more, the energy will produce more, then it will also act on the bone to make it solid. This neuropeptide Y is also act on the growth and development of the animal. Whether this neuropeptide Y or this arcuate also acts on the hepatic glucose production. So glucose production is also there. It is also regulated by the insulin. So almost insulin is all together, all there. But this like POMC CART, it is still unavailed. So these are the physiological responses which is going to happen with the hypothalamic nuclei. So it will leads to control the feed intake. Likewise, the axons from the ARC, they also project to the other areas of the hypothalamus. Mean to say, they just make the signal to send peripherally into the hypothalamus so that the action can be done very quick and correctly. So this PVN, the paraventricular nucleus, that is acting for the hyperphagia and obesity. This ventromedial nucleus, dorsomedial nucleus, and lateral hypothalamic area. This is also a part of the hypothalamus which plays a role in the control of feed intake. This perifornical area, PFA, these areas are the basic for the modulation of feed intake. Mean to say, they just create the surrounding in an animal that if an animal is required to take the feed or not, whether they are required or not. So this perifornical area, this is the main you can say area which contributes for the modulation of feed intake. So like if you will talk about the neuropeptides, that is the most powerful central stimulant of appetite. So approximately 90% of these neuropeptide neurons, this co-express with along with the AGRP. Okay. And this central administration of NPY, that is nucleopeptide, this enhance the feed intake. Okay. Central administration, the control of feed intake from the central part is mostly due to the release of or the presence of neuropeptide Y. So repeated daily injections of neuropeptide Y into the hypothalamus will result in chronic hyperphagia and weight gain in these animals. Mean to say the animal will lead to get more feed. They are about to eat more food. So only due to the repeated injection of neuropeptide Y. So that's why these hormones are in very less concentration in the blood. Mean to say when the level of neuropeptide Y is elevated in the blood concentration, it means that the stomach is almost to be empty or is going to be empty. Then only this neuropeptide Y will activate. Otherwise, just it will maintain in a basal concentration. So like this Y1 and Y5, these are the receptors which seem to mediate the orexigenic effect of neuropeptide Y. Mean to say they are just play a role as an antagonist to neuropeptide Y. So this AGRP, agouti-related peptide, these peptides are the competitive antagonist of anorexigenic central melanocortin receptors in the paraventricular nucleus. So basically what they does, they increase the intake of feed. Okay. And the another thing is it also act on orexin or opioid receptors. These orexin and opioid receptors are also the receptors which is required for the appetite. Okay, they play a role in the appetite. So these are the melanocortins or pro-opio-melanocortin. So this POMC or MSH, this is the precursor of alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone. And basically this reduce the feed intake. So regarding about the CART, that is co-expressed by neurons in the ARC, and these also reduce the feed intake. Mean to say they are playing role in the appetite. So this hypothalamic releasing hormone, the basic two which involved in the control of feed intake, that is the corticotropin releasing hormone and the thyrotropin releasing hormone. So they both also inhibits the food intakes. So regarding orexins, if we talk, then these are of two types, A and B. So these are activated through the G protein coupled receptors. Okay, and they play a role for the increased feed intake. So right about the melanin concentrating hormone. So this MCH, these also acts as orexigenic signal. Okay, so they also tends to increase the feed intake as well as the body weight of an animal. So this is the thing what I am looking for. So this is the ARC. In this neuropeptide Y, this POMC CART and agouti-related peptide and neuropeptide Y both have having the specialized section, okay, nucleus. From there, they are regulating the feed intake. So what happens? Under the POMC or CART, this nucleus on the presence of melanocyte stimulating hormone, they just create this BDNF, VMN, and MC4R. These are the enzymes, okay, So it will lead to decrease the feed intake. Whereas when this will act on the paraventricular nucleus, so acting on paraventricular nucleus, it will also leads to increase the this cortico corticosteroids and this thyroid releasing tropin hormones, and these will also lead to decrease the feed intake. But in case of neuropeptide Y, 1R and 5R, these two things, they increase the feed intake, but this is again with the release from the nucleus of neuropeptide Y. Likewise, neuropeptide Y, this also acts on the this nucleus and LHA. So this will just lead to release for the orexin, which further increase the feed intake in animal. So besides this, other hormones are there which plays a very vital role in the gastrointestinal tract. So regarding this, the serotonin and the norepinephrine. So basically, you might have read about this serotonin. Basically, these are produced in the dorsal raphe nucleus, and it is directly responsible for the reducing of the feed intake and body weight. Okay, basically this serotonin, they act antagonist to the neuropeptide Y, and they just inhibit or reduce the animal's feed intake, thus reduce the body weight. Regarding about the norepinephrine, this will produced in the BBC and locus coeruleus, and they has differing effects. Differing. Mean to say on alpha 2 receptors, they are stimulating feed intake, but alpha 1, beta 2, and beta 3 receptors, they act for the reducing of feed intake. Mean to say only this norepinephrine act on the alpha 2 receptor, then it will tends to stimulate the intake of feed. Okay? This alpha 1, beta 2, and beta 3 receptors, if these will act, then it will tends to reduce the food intake. Likewise, dopamine, it also inhibits food intake and also acts as orexigenic action. Okay. The one is orexin, the second is orexigenic. Orexigenic is the bit opposite action of the orexin. So it just inhibit the food intake. So these dopamines will act on the D1 and D2 receptors. Okay. And by acting on these D1 and D2, they reduce the food intake. But when this dopamine or the stimulates, these stimulates on the this dopamine will stimulate and the D5 receptor, then they will associate with the reward pathways. Reward pathways means they are doing their work somewhat more frequently. Being a role of orexigenic action, when this dopamine acts with the D5 receptor, then the orexigenic action will be very much frequent, very much frequent. So regarding hedonic mechanism, so these are related with the visual, smell, and taste signals, and they can be override satiety signals to maintain food intake despite neutral or even positive energy balance. Mean to say, if the animal are having full of stomach, then this hedonic mechanism, mean to say by the various signals from the neuronal signals, they just inhibit the hypothalamus so that they can off feed. So like these sensory signals, corticolimbic reward centers also implicated in the appetite regulation, and this dopamine, serotonin, opioids, and norepinephrine, they have been implicated as important neurotransmitters which are involved in the signaling of the neurons with the network of controlling for appetite and feed intake. Okay, so these hormones are very much important, you can say. Dopamine, serotonin, opioids, and norepinephrine. Likewise, neuropeptide Y, these hormones are expressing for the control of appetite and feed intake. Basically, what they do, they just decrease the feed intake. But the neuropeptide Y and those hormones, they just tends to increase the feed intake. So the another thing is the mnemonic
सर
representation.
जो एपिटाइजर देते होंगे सर,
Pardon?
जैसे एपिटाइजर देते हैं तो यही सब एरिया को एक्टिवेट करता है सर।
एपेटाइजर क्या कहो, सेटाइटी कहो, मतलब जब एनिमल की पेट लगा कि अब भर गया है, उसे खाने की जरूरत नहीं है, तो एट दैट टाइम सेटाइटी सेंटर विल एक्टिवेट एंड द न्यूरॉन्स व्हिच gives the signals to the satiety center for activation. These dopamine,
कुत्ता होता है, इसको भूख नहीं लगता है सर, खाना नहीं खाता है।
Okay. So regarding this
Yes.
mnemonic representation, so these are the past experience. The animals with having the specific food. So either that those type of food have to be consumed by animal or not. So this orbitofrontal cortex, that is the area which receives the specific food forms contributor. Okay, and they just receives this converging sensory input in the non-homeostatic control of food intake. When to say the animals have their memory in their memory that further in previously we are getting these things, so whether they are eatable or not, the animal likes this much or not. So these things will be controlled by the OFC, that is the orbitofrontal cortex. So almost this is the external part. Okay, into the central part.
सर
Feral
दो तीन मिनट
someday endocannabinoids. So these will act for the peripheral, almost peripheral part. So from here we will make it on again next class. This is the thing which
Yes, sir.
comes under the control of food intake and appetite centrally. That is, you can have a visual like this hypothalamus. Mean to say these have like one understanding thing. Mean to say they act on mnemonic centers, reward centers, brainstem, and this hypothalamus directly act on the reward centers with the help of various hormones or the neuron activities. So by the vagal afferent from the gut, that will clear the things that whether the central control will act like this or that, from which type, by which type they have to act. So they are just interrelated. Okay, hypothalamus, mnemonic centers, reward centers, and this brainstem. As well, the hypothalamus are directly related with the reward center and this brainstem. Okay, this is directly activated by the vagal afferents nerve, which will come from the gut sensory inputs. So almost all the things from the central control of